ordinance in place. We have a affordable housing navigator for the first time. The overlay zone. We've built more affordable housing, and still we're scoring upstream than anybody else in New Jersey. Again, there is no requirement on that building to do this. So the choices that we basically have today are not whether we have so much leverage to say, I want this and this and this, because the affordable housing component is extremely expensive to put into a building. That is extremely, extremely expensive. So the issues today are whether, do you want the building built without us securing 100,000 square feet, because that will happen under existing zoning as they legally are allowed to do, or do we want to secure 100,000 square feet underneath? We have modeled it out financially, and the exchange, as I said earlier, is financially beneficial for us at that point. So that's the reason for that. We don't have a ton of leverage because this pilot is different in the sense that you're not questioning whether the building will get built. The building was scheduled to be built regardless of this situation here. The question is, do we want to secure an asset for the city? I'm just going to turn it over to Mike Hanley here, who's the financial advisor.
You don't want the building built at all.
So you'd rather just it be condominiums then? That's
We'd
your
rather not
preference?
have none of that.
With zero public space in
We would
Jerusalem?
rather not have
That's
any
what's
of
gonna happen if you don't have.
All right, there's a presentation up at the
We
front
don't need
here.
to have any of it, and I wasn't addressing
This is what I'm here
you.
for, to advocate. Keep going.
Nobody was addressing you.
What the mayor correctly described
we're
is
glad that she's
we are
here.
getting a fair bargain.
I'm
The
glad that she's here, 'cause we're here
discount
too.
that is being given from conventional tax to the redeveloper in exchange for the asset we're receiving is fair, reasonable, and there is no likely place we would be able to make a similar trade and cause this project.
And I can see why you're so passionate about the project. I just had just one simple question. For 30 years, what's the cost conventionally in taxes? And what's the cost?
I'll repeat the question. Just if your mic isn't working, I'll repeat it. Go ahead.
Cost, conventional on the two towers on that land. What would they have to pay? Without the abatement, and how much with the abatement or with the pilot? So just those numbers for the 30 years.
The pilot represents approximately 47% of conventional taxes. Conventional taxes would be around $8.2 million. The pilot will be $3.9 million.
So that's per year.
Yes, and that's future. So it's not impacting today's future. We're talking about over 30 years, year after year, right? So it's not directly to the budget today. One other thing I would just highlight on this, because I did start with that NJPAC, and I spent some time on this because I was really looking into kind of conversation elsewhere. The same conversation happened at the Prudential Center at the arena when that happened, and the difference between NJPAC and that one was that the city committed at the time, so Newark committed $210 million. I want to put that in perspective, okay? So we're talking about securing 100,000 square feet in a pilot in exchange for the value of an asset there, right? In the Newark comparison, which I think a reasonable person would say that